Tom today is getting his license for Kansas, and he had a pretty long line to do that, as you all know, when you go and get your license updated or whatever. But just wanted to make sure that everyone is following the 8 core commitments. If you want to get paid, make sure you've activated your payment system, your e-wallet, so that you are getting paid. But if you're already taking care of that, the morning time can be a time, for you, either to pray or just to have some quiet time. And then, everyone needs to be blogging daily. And what's really good about the challenge that we're doing is that it kind of takes care of a bunch of things at once. It takes care of listening to audios, and then you can put up a video, and then you can blog about it. And it's also something you can send out, in your autoresponders. So everyone needs to be blogging daily. Your blog is one of the most important tools that you have, so you need to be doing that. You need to be marketing daily, whether it's Facebook or YouTube or free ads or solo ads or something. It's something you need to be doing every single day. And of course, new member coaching, just point people in the Real Work Encouragement Team site. Make sure you get on the Empower Hour on Monday night. If you haven't updated Inner Circle, you need to do that right away, because it's not just about making $100 commissions monthly from this, guys. It's also about, learning. I think it was Layla Black that said that your mind doesn't know the difference between one-on-one coaching and an audio coaching. So the more and more you listen to this, the more you learn. And there's just some amazing nuggets in every single audio that is in the Inner Circle. And of course, reading daily and then getting to the event. And we have 4 events coming up for the next event. So it should be, not a big problem for you to get, if you live on the West Coast or the East Coast or in the Midwest, they have events all over the country coming up. So let me, sorry, Mike. Oh, okay, sorry about that. I didn't have my screen going. Hey, Chad?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm clicking on show my screen. Nothing's happening. You see that? One second, guys. Chad, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. With me being a panelist, I don't see that option on my end. My panel looks completely different than yours.
Okay, it says only available to presenter. It says there's no presenter. Just wondering how
He doesn't have you signed in as a. He doesn't have you signed in as a presenter.
I did sign in. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, Tom's just gotten on. Hey, Tom, you there?
Emily, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. It shows I'm not a presenter, so I'm not able to share my screen.
Okay, hold on a second. Okay, try it now. Hold on a second. Can you see it now?
No. Oh, I can see. Yeah, I can see the screen now. Okay.
Okay, now go ahead and show your screen.
It's grayed out, like it's not allowing me to share it.
Hold on a second. Okay, do you see that?
Yes.
Okay, do you see it? Okay, now go ahead and click that. Show my screen.
Okay, can everyone see
Yes.
the screen? Okay, so everyone can see it?
Yep.
Okay, good. Okay, I was just going over the 8 core commitments with everyone. So, and if you haven't updated to the inner circle, you want to do that right away, because with the 90-day challenge, more than just getting into the habit, which is really good, guys, it's also getting your space and your your content out there, and you're becoming more of an authoritative figure. And so if you haven't gotten the inner circle, you want to do that right away. But just wanted to go ahead and dive in here with what we learned in the audio with David Sharp. And I really enjoyed this one, because Katie and I were actually talking about this a bunch when we were in Denver, in that when you have a little bit of results and you start selling it, which is one thing David talks about a lot, all of a sudden, like, Katie's people will come at me, or my people will go to Katie, and they're like, how did you do this? And it's like, well, did you watch the webinar I did? Well, no. And, it's like they're looking for someone to give them the big secret, the magical answer that will tell them everything, and it'll just make them $1 million. But something that David was saying is that when he started, he said that he was very, very frustrated, and he would spend hours just trying to change the location of his photo inside of a blog post. And he said there were thousands of people around him. It was like 1 out of 100 people around him were having success, and David Wood was one of them. And the goal with Empower Network was to help the average person who wasn't a tech whiz get started right away. They didn't have to worry about setting up the blog or getting the right plugins or any of that. It was just to help people start blogging right away. And a newbies stay newbies, and it's more of a mindset. Newbies stay newbies by never making the decision to give value or give back to the community, and it really repels people from you. It is a mental shift you have to take. And when I was in Denver, I was at the hotel computer, and this man came up because I was wearing a Creating a Dynasty shirt, and we actually knew each other. We met each other at a past event, and he was on a different team, though, and he introduced me to this one of his team members. It was this older lady, and she had been in about as long as me, and she was saying, oh, well, I'm a newbie. I just started getting into blogging. And I'm thinking, what? But, not saying that I'm an expert in anything. I'm always going to be a student, y'all. I'm always going to be learning. But one thing she said was, let's be newbies together. Here's my phone number. And I'm thinking, no. And I told her, I was like, well, you really need to tap into your leader and follow their instructions and do what they do, because, us as newbies together, that's like the blind leading the blind. And she was like, oh, not exactly what she wanted to hear, but, she was comfortable being a newbie. She really hadn't taken any action on anything. And misery loves company, but success wants accountability. So, Newbies are always looking for the next training, always asking questions, usually which can be found in the training. They're always looking for someone to hold their hand, always looking for what others can offer them and not what they can offer others. They just want someone to show them. Can you just show me? Can you just tell me the secret? And you know, if you get all in an Empower Network, you're going to have someone show you. In fact, I mean, I haven't been through all of the training yet. There's a ton of training in there. There's no way one person can just tell you what's in the master's course or just tell you what's in the Costa Rica intensive. There's no way. That's why you need to get all in and why you need to follow what goes on, you know, what is taught in the training. So, one second, guys. And that's, you know, I think it comes from an employee mindset that, you know, newbies stay busy, you know, in non-income producing activities, you know, always going to trainings, always going to events. You know, the training events are amazing, guys, but just going to and just watching training isn't going to make the money. You have to do what they're saying in the training. And something that David said was that the average life of an internet marketer is a few months. It's pretty sad. You know, leaders make offers to people and give others a reason to join them. Who's the man with the plan? You know, and also, I think the newbie mindset comes from people who they didn't actually come up with a big enough why of what they're doing, you know, why they're doing it. You know, they start a business maybe because they liked the idea of it. They didn't have a big enough why of why they started. And when you give great value, you manifest the ability to charge more, especially like if you have, you know, one-on-one coaching, or if you create a product based off of results that you've gotten in either Facebook marketing or solo ad or whatever. And one thing you want to do is you always want to be selling your last result. And newbies make the mistake of comparing themselves to like Vic Stricehouse or Tracy Walker or Tony Rush. You know, because I'm not at that level. Why? They want to jump to that level. They want to skip all the steps and think that they'll end up like Vic Stricehouse. And you can't do that. I mean, Vic was once a newbie. Tracy and Tony were once newbies. Just because they've had all this success now doesn't mean that they, you know, don't still have challenges in the business. But going back to what, you know, my notes and what David was saying is that, you know, you want to offer incentives to people. You know, if you join the business, I'll mentor you and you'll have the opportunity to work with me. You know, you got to change your language with people. Newbies compare themselves, like I was saying, to the big guns, thinking they don't have something to offer because they're not at their level yet. Well, everyone has something to offer. You know, you'll never be perfect. And it doesn't mean that you don't have results to share. If you did a video and it got at the first page of Google, sell that result. Or if you got, like I did a solo ad last week and I got 50 opt-ins out of a 100-click solo ad. That's the result. You know, you need to share that. Actually, I need to share that myself because I don't think I shared that. But, you know, even if it's a small result, you need to sell that, promote it. And if you really are brand new, you know, start sharing other people's results. You know, be everyone else's biggest cheerleader. That's why it's great to promote your team. Look what Tom the Furry Hat Guy did. He got on the top of the leaderboard in the launch contest. That's a phenomenal result. Share that with people. Look at what Mark Whitting's doing. He's, you know, basically dominating Google. You know, that's a really big result. You know, we got some really amazing people on this team. Start sharing their results. Newbies try to skip the basics and jump to the top. Don't do that. You need to follow the 8 core commitments. You need to be taking action on what, you know, you're learning. You follow instructions, do the core. You know, if you are brand new or, you know, you've just been in study mode, because Tom talks about this, you know, about the different levels that you start at. There's student, and then there's apprentice, then there's intermediate, advanced, pro, and then master. Well, you can't just come in and then become a master, right away. You first become a student. I'm more at the apprentice level, coming into the intermediate stage, and if you're still in the study mode and you've been studying for a while, you need to actually set a date of when you'll do your first solo ad, or do a Facebook ad, or something, sell, and then sell your result on that. And as Tracy said, in Denver, there's no failure, there's only feedback. So it's not like college where you study for a test and you might fail or you might pass. Everything's a result, and you just sell that. What you offer to the marketplace will be your brand. Everyone in newbies make a mistake if they're getting in, well, I need to create my brand. I need to create my brand. It's like, well, you haven't done anything. You don't have a brand. And just focus on getting results. Start selling the results, and your results become your brand. You have to be doing, and this is for, for those that, have started and have been in a while and have been getting results, you have to be doing what you tell your team to be doing. And as Tracy said in the audio, it's not about putting on an act of being perfect. Be real and honest. She's done her best at breaking things down for the team. And as she was saying, there will always be whiners. She says, like, she gives people apples, and they're like, well, cut them up for me. And she cuts them up and gives them back, and it's like, well, make them into applesauce for me. It's like, oh, I really love Tracy. She does a lot of butt kicking in that respect. Follow the instructions and the order that she gives it. And when she comes up with a training, the three things she asks herself are, is it simple for a person just starting overall? Is it something people are willing to pay for monthly? And is there a result that can be quantified and documented to show others? And you always want to frame your mind to think that you can learn it. Get rid of thoughts of thinking, well, this is too hard. Well, I'm not technically savvy. One person who really has one of the best attitudes about this is Mary Witt. I just love you, Mary, because she's always saying, well, this grandma can do it. So, and especially after the last event, if you weren't there and what they showed us, what Empower Network's going to be doing next month, basically they've made it grandma proof. So there's no excuse for anyone. Let's see. Sorry, guys, just reading off my notes. First thing you have to do, is get a result. And this is something what Tracy was saying. This is something I've learned myself because, I was a big wussy newbie at one time, and I was going to this trainer and that guru and that mentor and saying, can you please show me? I don't understand this. How did you get this result? Blah, 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 whine, whine, whine. And Tracy did this with the mentor that she was following. And she didn't get an attitude with him. She wanted to follow him because he seemed successful. So what she decided to do was to go through all of the training that he provided. She applied it. She got a result, and then she went to him and said, hey, thank you so much for all this training. I tried this. I love it. How can I increase it? What do you suggest or recommend? And then she got a response from him. And
sometimes those things.
That's how I frame every question whenever I go to one of the leaders. It really is a mind shift, y'all. You have to go to them with, hey, thank you so much for all that you do. Hey, I've done this. I've gotten this result. What would you do? What can you suggest for me? And, that's what makes leaders, reach out to help you because, or, lend out a hand to help you because you know, when people are just coming to you whining, well, it doesn't work, it's just a sign that they're skipping the steps and they're not watching the training. So it's like what, hold on one second, guys. Okay, something was popping up on my screen. Tracy was saying it was like, you know, you get upset with Betty Crocker because you left the flour out of the cake when you were baking it. You know, you can't, and that's what a lot of newbies do when they blame, you know, this guru or that leader. Well, they never helped me. Well, their training is crap because I didn't get any results. Probably because they didn't apply what they learned from them and they didn't apply them long enough. Tracy was talking about, you know, in the Karate Kid, the old teacher, wax on, wax off. You know, the kid doesn't understand, why do I have to do these stupid little steps every single morning? I don't get it. Until he gets into his first fight and his body almost goes into this automatic habitual state of action that, you know, when he gets kicked at this way or hit at this way, he takes immediate, you know, his brain takes immediate effect and starts applying the right moves to block this guy. And it's like what Danny Johnson says, you know, mastering the basics, like Michael Jordan, who mastered dribbling and passing and all that. People in the Olympics are the best of the best. You know, people who have mastered the basics. And people don't go to the Olympics hoping for the bronze. They're obsessed with the gold. And one thing she asked is, are you obsessed with the goals that you have that you brought into Empower Network? It's about getting consistency, which is why you have to blog daily, why you have to listen to the audios daily. And if you're still stuck, like I was saying earlier, you probably haven't thought about your why enough. And every person on the leaderboard, like I said earlier, was once a newbie. They all have issues in their lives. They don't wake up glowing and life is perfect. One thing they all did have in common is that they didn't wait for someone to tell them go. Many of you are probably still waiting for permission to do a solo ad or a Facebook ad, or someone has a question. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. And one thing that we talked about in Denver, Katie and I, was that, you know, when when you're looking for leadership, sometimes you have to step out and be the kind of leader that you want. And, you know, you need to stop waiting for permission to succeed. It's your right to succeed, and you need to start taking action on what, you know, you're learning in the Inner Circle audios, or the 15K, or the trainings that we have, you know, every single week. And as they said again, you know, you sell the results or you sell someone else's results, and you slam them why they should join to get the same results. I do that in every single video. I talk about what I learned in the audio, and I say, if you want to join a team that is getting this results or doing this or that, you know, click the link below. Click the link below. You know, don't get caught up in the branding trap. There are many people out there who nobody knows, and they're making a ton of money because they give a ton of value, but they haven't built this branding website, or, you know, it's, you know, and then there are newbies out there who haven't done a thing, and they're spending a ton of money creating a brand, and, you know, so don't do that. Let's see. Yeah, use how many leads you got from a solo ad, that you ranked on Google, that you made some money, that you signed someone up. There's, you know, those are the, you know, any kind of result you have, just start, you know, selling that, promote it. There's no excuse not to be blogging. You know, especially if you have the Inner Circle and you're doing the 90-day challenge, make it a video, put it in the blog post. There you go. Always give an added incentive. You know, how, this is with David, how do you escape the newbie zone? You do it by offering something to people by joining you. If if you take action, I'm also going to do this for you. Like we have the Real Work Encouragement Team training site. That's a huge incentive that not a lot of teams have. You always move forward, never backward. The biggest mistake is never taking action. You have to self-promote your results. There's a reason why someone wants to buy from you instead of someone else. So always be selling your results. And this is just a story that I wanted to share with y'all. Kind of what different situation, but same principle. And when I was in school, I was in theater, and when I started in school, I started in a theater department that was full of people who, well, I was actually homeschooled, and they were all from public schools. They'd all been in theater. And when I got in, I so wanted to, because my dream was to be an actor. I gave everything in the classroom, in the auditions. I followed everything that our theater teacher said, and I started to get noticed. Same as it was at the last school. I gave everything in auditions. I gave everything in the classroom. I completed all the projects, putting everything into the projects, putting everything into what that department needed. And same thing again, I was getting cast in all these main stage shows. And my senior year, they were having a student-directed shows, and you had to apply, and you had to have, all these requirements. You had to have a certain GPA. You had to have had the directing class, and I had all of the requirements, but I didn't want to do it. I didn't feel like it, and I was the professor. He came to me one day, and he's like, "Is there a reason why you haven't applied to be one of the student directors?" And I didn't have an answer for him, so he's like, "Go apply right now." So he used it against me because he knew I was a good student and I always followed directions. So I went and applied, but once I got into the application process, I really wanted to see, I really wanted to direct. I really wanted to bring in a bunch of people and create this production. And I had a lot of good people that I thought would be great for the parts, and I thought that they would be, or they were my friends or whatever, and I thought they would be really good at it, or I wanted them in it, and they didn't even show up to the audition. And I had some people that say, "Emily, I really want to be in this production." It's like, okay, well, you going to be at the audition? Well, I can't make it. Oh, and I really can't make all these rehearsals. Well, you can't be in it, So we had the audition, and I had a fantastic cast and crew. I had, and these were all people who had never been in a main stage show. And I had some of the guy that did my lights, the girl that did my costumes. They actually came to me, not saying, "I want to be in this, Emily." They actually came to me with like plans and saying, "Emily, I will do this, this, and this for your show." And I'm like, "You're hired," because they came to me with with their plans of what they were going to do. And they did a fantastic job. And about 80% of the actors, well, I had like a dozen people in this production total. And there were maybe one or two people that tried to tell me, even though I was the more experienced one, well, I think we should do things this way. But for the most part, they all followed my instructions. They all they all took action on what I said to do. And by the end of that year, we had the production. That show became, it was like voted best student production of the year by the students and the teachers. And all of my people that were in that show the following year were cast in the main stage show. So what I'm just wanted to share with you on that story is that, the people that took action are the ones that, had success later down the line. So if that, that was just something I want to, hold on one second, I see questions. Oh, I don't see questions. Sorry about that. Someone said that they couldn't hear me. Okay. Oh, wait, that was from earlier. Ninja Mary. Okay, good. But anyways, guys, I just wanted to share that with you because, the people that wanted to, that really wanted to be in acting or directing or actually, showcase their talents in lighting or the costumes, they were the ones that took action. They weren't the ones saying, I really want to do this. They were the ones that were actually doing it and coming to me with results. Same thing in this business. It was like with, what we were talking about in Denver. Hold on one second, guys. We all have technical problems. Doesn't mean that you can't have success. But yeah, it's like what we were saying in Denver. If you want to start seeing, if you want to start growing your income, if you want to start building a following, you have to get a result first, and you have to start selling that result. And if you haven't taken action already, you need to set a date of when you will. I'm going to do a solo ad, by the end of this week. I'm going to buy some sign-ups by the end of this week. And there was a point I wanted to make with that. Shoot. But anyways, that's pretty much all I had. Tom, are you there?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me, Emily?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. No, absolutely excellent points. I mean, just like she was saying, my friends. I mean, when you first are doing this as a newbie, it's going to be getting into your subconscious mind that this is what you want. This is how you're going to do it. This is how you're going to make it happen. And you got to remember something about this is that there's a thing in our bodies which is called our motor responses, right? Like how your brain thinks and feels and does things. Well, just like she was bringing up that story about the Karate Kid, about like how he was just doing the wax on, wax off, and he was doing the, paint the fence, and he was like doing all this stuff, and all of a sudden, like Mr. Miyagi he goes, what? Well, Danielson goes, I didn't learn anything, and he's all, oh yeah, watch this. He goes, oh yeah, and he goes, oh yeah, oh. And it's like, what? Whoa, how did I do all that? You know what I mean? Well, it's the same thing in marketing. Same thing you're going to be doing. I mean, this is going to be something where it's going to be second nature, but you got to be doing it where you got to be consistently painting that fence. You got to be consistently waxing the floor or wax on, wax off. You got to be consistently doing that. So now it's almost like you know, like immediately what to do. You know, like right when you wake up, I got to do a blog. Right when you wake up, I got to listen to Inner Circle. Right when you wake up, I got to meditate or be in prayer in the morning. Right when you wake up, you gotta go to the gym and work out. Right when, you know what I mean? These are all things that are just going to seem second nature. And then if you don't do it, you're going to feel like, oh my God, I didn't do that yet. And you're going to start getting like a little bit of an anxiety in your stomach going, I got to do that so I can relieve what I need to get done. You see?
Yeah.
This is what you need to be doing to escape the newbie zone. You know what I mean? And you can't do it with wishy-washy actions. Wishy-washy actions equal wishy-washy results. That doesn't mean you do one day of solo ad and then the next 5 days you don't do a solo ad, or you know, you blog one day but then after that you don't blog for like 5 days, or you do a video today and then you don't do a video for the next 3 days, or you do an inner circle audio today, kick butt at it, and then all of a sudden the next 2 days you don't. No, it's got to be, you got to be having, writing a list of consistent actions you're going to be doing every day. If it's a blog every day, inner circle audio, you know, meditate or prayer, you know, going to the gym, write that down. Go, I need to get all this done every single day without fail, and I cannot go to sleep until it's done. You see what I mean? That's how you, that's another way you escape the newbie zone. So cool.
Something else I was going to say, Tom, is that, you know, once, you know, when you get out of that zone yourself, you know, it's something that you need to expect of your team members as well, because when you're doing the activities and, you know, you're being just disciplined with yourself, you need, you know, you'll attract those kind of people, but you'll always get people that'll come to you and want to, you know, want them, you know, they want you to hold their hand and show you, but you have to expect, you know, excellence out of them. You know, well, did you watch the training? Did you watch it all? Did you do this? You know, and if they don't, you know, you just need to drop them and keep moving on, because if they don't do the work, you can't be wasting your time holding their hand, being their, you know, counselor, because they haven't done the work and they're frustrated and stuck.
Yeah, absolutely. So cool. So hey everyone, let's give it up for Emily for doing this basically pretty much the whole webinar. So let's give it up for her. She is just you know, kicking butt and taking names, and she's going to be our Wednesday gal from now on. And you know, I'll still be on next week just to make sure everything's cool. Like I just got home and I popped on the webinar and her screen wasn't being shown, and I was like, uh-oh. So I started messaging her on Skype. I said, look, I can't see your screen. She's all, oh, I can't do it. I'm like, crap. So I just started logging in and I took care of it. So, but everything worked out. So great job, Emily.
Thank you, Tom. And I'm sorry I didn't have you talk with her. And anything else you'd like to add to it? Because I did talk a lot of the time.
No, that ought to do it. I've already added my points, and I actually got to go listen to my inner circle audio right now, and and take action on my part and do a video, because I always believe that, you know, in order, if I say, hey guys, let's do a challenge with the inner circle audios, I do it too. Not, hey, y'all do a challenge, and I sit back and not do anything. No. I do everything I tell you to do. You see what I mean? Because we all work as a team together. So everyone, if you're not upgraded to the Inner Circle Audios, log into your Empower Network, click on My Products, and then click on Inner Circle Upgrade Now, and then you can participate in our Inner Circle challenge here, and listening to one every single day, because that's what we're doing, and increasing our intelligence in this industry and becoming like Daniel-san and having the Inner Circle Audios be our Mr. Miyagi. So we are going to be waxing off and waxing on, waxing off. We're going to be painting the fence. We're going to be, you know, sweeping the floor, all this stuff. So with that being said, everyone have a great day. We'll talk to y'all later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
The organizer has ended the session.